breathe, least, man. I can't breathe. I've been trying to help out. So
Across the United States, George Floyd's haunting final words have become a rallying cry. And they have shed new light on an issue that has historically divided much of the country, that of police brutality. A new poll by the Associated Press and NORC Center for Public Affairs Research shows about half of all Americans now say police violence against the public is a highly serious problem. That's up from about a third as recently as last September. More Americans also say the problem too often goes undisciplined and unequally targets Black Americans.
In Maryland, police dogs...
As the country grapples with confronting a long history of structural racism and inequalities, the findings are reflective of a shift in understanding.
To me, this is a 400-plus year problem that goes even back to slavery. But if people want to narrow it down to the past 5-6 years, yes. Do I think police violence is a problem? Yes.
83% of Black Americans say police violence is a very serious problem. 39% of white Americans feel the same. About 35% of white Americans call it moderately serious. The recent protests have been markedly diverse, with many white people being more vocal about police violence and racism than they have in the past.
For me as a Black person, I'm like, this has been happening. You know, we should have been on it. We should have been seeing this. And so now what's happening is, I'll be honest, more white people are saying it, just saying this is wrong.
Certainly, my eyes have been opened in the last month of how serious the problem really is.
I'm a mother of a young Black man.
Hearing the pain in the voices of people who have been affected by this really makes me want to do something.
65% of Americans now say that police officers who cause injury or death in the course of their job are treated too leniently by the justice system. That's up from 41% 5 years ago.
When police shoot and kill, they realize all I'm going to get is administrative leave with pay. I may get fired and I'll just go on and find another police job. That has to stop.
More Americans are also calling for broader changes to the criminal justice system.
I would like to see the police trained in different ways and have other experts come in when deadly force isn't necessary. And most of the time it isn't.
We hear you.
Lawmakers in Washington have taken note. Senate Republicans and House Democrats have unveiled competing proposals for police reform as they struggle to respond to Americans' shifting opinions. Noreen Nasser, The Associated Press.